find a little extra opening across the upper back. Let the forehead just rest down on the mat and take a few moments to start deepening the breath, bringing your focus to the inhales and exhales. Use your inhales today to find some energy and expansion, and use the exhales to find deeper stretches and more relaxation. So looking for a balance between the two. On your next breath in, staying right where you are, tent onto your left fingertips, so make a spider with the left hand, and just walk it over, place your left palm on top of the right one. You can just keep the right arm facing forward or pointing forward. So a super, super gentle stretch through the left side body. And then we'll release left hand back in its place, reaching forward. Take an inhale to tent onto the right fingertips and then spider walk that hand. So right palm presses on top of the left. And you find that same really mild, gentle opening through the right side body. You'll feel this stretch right below the scapula. Carefully release, right hand back in its place. Let's stay for a full breath in, a deep belly inhale. Feel the belly button press down to the floor, the sides of your stomach press into the sides of the thighs, and then breathe out. Just let the chest drop another inch toward the mat if you can. Now, keeping the body as it is, take the hands back a hand print. So the heels of your hand come closer toward the knees. Press into the palms. On your inhale, we're gonna roll up into cat. Keep your knees wide. So legs stay as they are. Roll up chin to chest, tight core. And then starting with your pelvis on your exhale, arch the spine, come through cow, and then set the hips right back to the heels, coming through child pose. On the inhale again, press into the knees, the palms, arch the spine, chin to chest, roll up. And then dip the belly button to the floor. Exhale, send the hips right back to your heels. We'll just take one more like that. On your inhale, find that cat position, roll up. This time, tuck your toes under, knees and toes stay wide. Exhale's down dog. Send your hips to the sky. So it's a wide leg down dog. So feet are toward the edges of the mat. You can have a bend in the knees, just like a normal downward facing dog. Take a moment, walk it out, bend and straighten. And then we'll come into stillness. So heels do not need to be rooted. You can keep a bigger little bend in the knees as you'd like. Walk your hands back, one handprint. So heels of the hand, one space toward the toes. Take your right hand to the center of the mat, and then left hand twists underneath the body to grab onto the right calf or the right ankle. We're taking a downward facing dog twist. So when you find the connection of the left hand to the outside of the right leg, see if you can add a gentle pull, opening, spiraling the chest open to the right side of your room. You can look underneath the right armpit toward your ceiling. Take a breath here. Carefully unwind on the breath out. Switch out the hands. Left palm, replace the right in the middle of the mat. And right hand reaches across under the body, outside of the left calf or left ankle. When you have that connection, you can use a little pull of the hand on the leg to spiral the chest open toward the left side. And try to find this opening through the upper body so the hips and legs stay in line, equal weight beneath the feet. We'll carefully unwind here. Keep the feet wide. Now start to walk your hands all the way back to the back edge of the mat. Turn your toes out, heels in, and set your hips down into a yogi squat. So for this squat, walk your hands forward like a child pose in the upper half. So you're letting the chest dip down between the knees. You can have some weight underneath the palms or come up onto the fingertips. And maybe just rock side to side, kind of shifting the weight from one foot to the other, working to keep the knees pointing as high up toward the ceiling as you can. to keep the hips open. So this can be really gentle. You don't have to add any movement if you don't want to. And then come into stillness. Bring your hands to the mat about, right beneath your shoulders. Press into the palms. Use some force beneath the hands to help lift the hips to the sky, straightening the legs. Rotate your toes so they point forward. Add a nice bend in the knees. We'll take a ragdoll here. So chest drops down over the quads. Grab opposite elbows with the hands and let the head and neck totally hang loose here. You can sway side to side, bob up and down, add a little bit of motion. It will help loosen up even quicker. Release your fingertips down to the floor. Start to heel toe your feet all the way together beneath you. Finally setting up a more natural base with the low body. So ankles beneath the hips. Keep a little bend in the knees. On the breath in, press into the fingertips. Pull the heart forward. Find a halfway lift. Lengthen from the tailbone through the neck. On the exhale, fold over the legs. Spike down into your heels. On your inhale, come all the way up to standing high mountain pose. Sweep your arms up overhead. Get nice, tall, and big. And exhale, palms together, heart center. On the inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, let the hands drop behind the back, clasping the fingers or the hands together. Squeeze the elbows together behind you. You'll feel the chest start to expand. Press the knuckles down toward the floor. Take a breath in. Lift the chest and chin toward the ceiling. Bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold with the bind. Let the hands start to fall toward the floor, right in front of your toes. So that might not leave the low back, or maybe they fall really far. Just remember to keep active through the arms with a little bend in the elbows. Take one more breath here. Bring the hands to your low spine. Release the grip, fingertips to the floor. On your next breath in, lift up halfway. Long back. Exhale, walk forward. Find a high plank. Hold your high plank for the inhale. On the exhale, drop your knees down, so we're in our tabletop. On your inhale, shift your shoulders over the wrist, tight belly. On your exhale, drop your chest and your chin to the floor. Keep your hips lifted. It's gonna feel kind of funny. Now, using the pressure underneath your palms, pull the chest forward and through right into a cobra pose. Untuck the toes, belly is rooted down on the mat. Tops of your feet are pressed down so the knees are lifted. Hold here, squeeze the elbows, magnetize them together behind the low back. Take a breath in, see if you can press into the hips so much that the chest lifts another 2 inches. And then exhale, release the forehead to the floor. You can press into the palms and knees, hips go back, child's pose, just for a moment to reset. On the breath in, press into the palms, roll up into cat pose, arch the spine, chin to chest, tuck your toes under. Exhales, downward facing dog. Regular stance, feet can be hip width distance, closer, wider, whatever feels good, but find your natural feeling downward facing dog. From here, even out the weight beneath your palms. On your inhale, kick your right heel to the sky, as high as you can. On the exhale, bend the knee, let the hips fan open. So right hip is picking up over the left. On your next breath in, re-extend the legs, square the hips down to the mat. Exhale, try to pull knee to nose and then plant your right foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down to the floor, toes stay tucked under. Inhale's low crescent lunge. Again, left knee is rooted, so arms pull up by your ears. Drop your right arm down alongside the right hip. Inhale, get really tall from the left knee through the left fingertips. On your exhale, side bend here, reach up and over the head with the left hand. You'll feel your right fingertips drop closer and closer to the floor. They might reach. I have really short arms, so they're not even close. On your next breath in, right arm sweeps up, chest levels out, shoulders over hips, and then drop your hands to heart center, prayer pose. So re-engage the legs, inner thighs squeeze toward one another, activation, pressure beneath your right heel will keep you lifted up and out of the hips so you're not dumping all your weight forward. From here, stay really strong, tight core on your inhale. Pull your left heel toward your glute without using your hands, just using the hamstring. On your exhale, release your left toes to the floor. It's okay if they don't lift up very far. On your inhale again, squeeze the hamstring, pull left heel toward your glute, and exhales release. Last one here. Inhale, pull heel toward your glute, hold it here. Reach back around with the left hand. See if you can grab the left foot or ankle for a bind. If the bind's not there, you can practice strength work by holding it without the hands or drop the toes down. Take a breath in with the bind on your exhale. Now press the hips forward, kind of relaxing into the hip opener stretch. Take one more breath in. Carefully release the bind if you have it. On the exhale, drop your left toes to the floor. Inhale one more time, sweep both arms up overhead. On your exhale, with control, swan dive over extended right leg into a half split. So fingertips find the mat right beneath your shoulders. Try to pull the heart forward rather than curling the spine to drop the chest over the knee. Point your right toes to the sky. Take a breath in. Breath out. On your inhale, lift up halfway, long back. As you exhale, both hands start to walk toward the left edge of the mat. So they pass by your left hip. Kickstand your left foot behind you. And eventually your left hand finds the back of your mat. The hand is beneath the shoulder. They're in line with your left hip and knee. Hope that makes sense. Right foot can plant all four corners of the foot down on the mat. So here we are in a modified side plank. Reach your right fingertips to the sky. Take a breath here. Get taller through that hand. On your exhale, drop your right arm up and overhead. Find a huge side stretch, right ankle through the fingertips. And then inhale, right hand to the sky. Pick your right foot up off the ground. So we're balancing. So here's a modified half moon. It's a modified side plank, same thing. Hold, start to bend your right knee. Pull your right knee toward your elbow as far as you can. It's almost impossible to actually make the connection. Some strength and balance work here. You can take your right hand, grab the back of your right quad for some support to hold that leg up. Try to keep your right knee lifted up over the hip. Press your hips forward, find an opening there. One more breath in. On your exhale, release. Extend right leg back out, drop it to the floor, reach your right arm up and overhead, find that side stretch one last time. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky. Now as you exhale, drop your right hand to the floor. You're squaring your chest to the back of the mat. Keep your left knee rooted where it is. Right leg is extended. Your right heel picks up over the toes. Press into the palms, into the right toes on your inhale. Pick your left knee up off the floor, squeeze it into your chest. So we find our high plank tiger curl, knee to chest. Hold here. And on your next breath in, three-leg dog, kick your left heel to the sky nice and high. Exhale, bend the knee. Let your left heel drop toward your seat as the hips open up for that big wide hip stretch. On your inhale, re-extend the left leg nice and long. Exhale, knee to nose, and plant your left foot between your palms. So drop your right knee to the floor. We're in our low lunge facing the back of the mat. Reach your arms up overhead. Right toes stay tucked under. This is going to give you some control and buoyancy in the low body. Left arm drops down alongside the hips the left hip. On your inhale, reach nice and tall through the right fingertips. Exhale, side body stretch. Right fingers reach up and over. You'll feel the left fingertips drop to the floor or just in that direction. No need to connect. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands palm to palm, heart center. Now press into the left heel, lift up and out of the left hip. Take a breath in, squeeze your right heel toward the right glute. Use the hamstring to find the lift, and then on your exhale, toes to the floor. Again, Inhale, pull heel to bum. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, squeeze your heel toward the glute. Hold it here for strength work. Try to reach right hand back behind you. It can clasp the knife edge of your foot outside of your ankle. Again, if that connection isn't there, don't dwell on it because we're about to move on. Let's just take one more breath in. Carefully release the bind on the breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. One last time. Slow, controlled swan dive over your left leg, half split. So left leg extends as you drop the chest. Fingertips support the upper body. Point your left toes to the sky. Take one more breath in. Find the stretch through the hamstring as you exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway. Start to walk both hands inside the left leg. Start to walk them outside the right knee, the right hip, pivoting so your right hand finds the top of the mat, the original top of your mat. Right foot kickstands behind you for support. Reach your left fingertips to the sky. So our modified plank pose. Take a breath in here. Press into the right knee. Reach through the fingertips. Exhale your hand up and overhead for the full side stretch. You should feel big opening through the left hip. On your inhale, left fingers to the sky. Left heel lifts. Start to bend your left knee, pulling your knee to your elbow. Eventually, left hand finds the outside edge or behind the left knee for support. Press the hips forward. Keep your left knee lifted up above the left hip. Take a breath in. Release on the breath out into that same big side stretch. Left fingertips up overhead. Last time here. Inhale, left fingers to the sky. And then on your exhale, drop your left hand to the top of your mat. Let the chest square here. Rotate your left heel up over the left toes. Press into the palms on your inhale. Pick your right knee up off the floor. Squeeze it into your chest. So activate the core muscles. Try to pull your knee and nose together if you can. And then inhale, kick your right heel to the sky. And exhale is downward facing dog. Nice job. That was our warm-up flow. When you're ready, inhale, ripple forward to your high plank. Exhale, drop both knees down. Try to land them evenly. On the breath in, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, drop the chest and the chin to the floor. Keep your hips lifted up first. And then slide the heart through the hands and up into cobra pose. Untucking the toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Knees lift up off the floor. Hold here. Take another breath in. See if you can lift the chest another inch. Sorry for the barking. And as you exhale, forehead to the floor. Press into the palms and knees. Send the hips back. Child's pose. Knees stay parallel. On the breath in. Lift up into cat pose, arching the space between the shoulder blades, tuck the toes under. Exhale is downward facing dog. I did not put Sunny in for her nap time today, so here's her adding her voice. Downward facing dog. Let's check back in, reconnect with the breath if you lost sight of that. Take a full breath in. Really deep, long exhale. Now, into our power flow. On your inhale, kick your right heel to the sky, nice and high. Exhale, knee to nose, really slow. Plant your right foot between your hands, low lunge. Press down beneath your heels, and inhale is high lunge. Use the core to find control as you lift up. Take a breath in to find your high lunge. Settle deeper into your right leg. Bring palms together, heart center. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend the left knee so it taps the floor or gets really close to it. And then re-extend as you inhale, straightening the left leg. Hold here, breathe in, start to shift forward, chest leans over the right leg, get really light on the left toes, and then launch into airplane, keeping the hands pressing in prayer position. So you're taking the arms away from being a balance tool, but at the same time, you're helping yourself focus and keep that energy in the center line of your body. So Build a strong pose from the ground up. Find stability in the ankle first, and this will lift you up through the right leg. Hold here. Really flex your left toes. Take a breath in. Keep your hands together as you start to open the hips and chest to the left side, rotating your left toes to the ceiling. We're coming into half moon. See how long you can keep your hands at your chest before flying them open and letting the right fingertips come down to the floor for support. So meeting in our half moon, trying to be as flat as we can and get really long from the crown of the head through the left heel. Big breath in. Start to bend into the right knee, nice and slow. Let your left foot land at the back of the mat. We'll inhale into star pose, heels in, toes out, and exhale as horse. Take it really, really low and deep. Can kind of rock side to side, pulse up and down, and use that motion to get the hips lower to the floor while keeping the knees very, very wide. Almost like you're doing a middle split, but you're standing up. On your inhale, body stays the same. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come back together, heart center. Again, like that, inhale, arms get wide all the way up to the sky. Exhale, palms together, heart center. And then inhale, star pose, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale is warrior two to the back of the mat. So bend into your left leg. Find a really deep lunge here. Should start to feel pretty open. Our hips should start to feel really open. So the left knee, we want it tracking in line with the second toe. Arms are wide. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Maybe take a few shoulder shrugs to bring them down. Flip your left palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior, big side stretch. Exhale is extended side angle. So yogi's choice, elbow to knee. You can bring your left fingertips to the floor. Wherever you are, elbow or fingers, try to look up over your right thumb. Breathe here. Chest and hips are opening up to the side. Now staying active through the legs, press down beneath both feet. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Again, up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor on the inside of your left foot. So we're coming into lizard, facing the back of the mat. So right heel spirals up over your toes. Just here for a moment, you can kind of pulse back and forth to find the hip opener through the right hip flexor. Now come into stillness. Come up onto your fingertips, look toward the now top edge of your mat. Get light on your right foot, take a breath in. Exhale, hop into a yogi squat. So your right foot lands outside of your right pinky. Hips drop down between the heels. So we're not staying in this squat long at all. If you can't find the heels on the floor, no stress. If the hips aren't lowered to the floor, don't worry. You can keep your palms on the ground, hips lifted as a supportive pose option. We'll take one breath in, one breath out. Plant your hands, fingertips on the floor. Carefully press into the heels, lift the hips up to the sky, straightening the legs. Heel toe your feet together beneath you. And then forward fold over the legs, just giving the body a moment to relax and reset. Nice bend in the knees, press into the fingertips, inhale, lift up halfway. On your exhale, plant the palms, step or hop back to your high plank. Hold for your breath in, nice tight belly. Exhale, drop knees to the floor. Inhale, shift shoulders over wrists. Exhale, chin and chest, drop, hips stay lifted. Now pull the heart through, untuck the toes, cobra pose. Elbows squeeze into the side body. Take one extra breath in. Drop forehead to the floor as you exhale. Press into the palms. Send your hips back to the heels. Child's pose just for a moment. The inhale lifts you up into cat. Chin to chest. Draw forward. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips to the sky. Stay for the breath in. Full breath out. Let's do that all on the left leg. So inhale, kick your left heel to the sky. big down dog split. And then exhale nice and slow with control. Pull knee to nose as you ripple forward. Plant your left foot between the palms. Press into the ground with the feet. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Use the belly. Lift up into your high lunge. Fingertips to the sky. Shoulders lift up over your hips. Try to pull your right hip forward. Bring the palms together, heart center. Take a breath in. On your exhale, tap your right knee down toward the floor, maybe just a millimeter above the floor, and then re-extend the right leg. On the breath in, start to hinge forward. Crown of the head reaches toward the wall or space in front of you. Chest is hinging over your left quad. Get light on the right foot, and then kick all the weight into the left leg, coming to your balancing airplane, hands at heart center. Keep pressing between the hands to stay active through the chest and through the core. This will help you find balance. And then again, build the pose from the ground up, pressing through all four corners of the foot, lifting up through the inner ankle, buoyant through the left knee. Take one more breath here. On the exhale, start to spiral the hips and chest open, pointing the right toes to the sky. Woo! Eventually you can release the arms wide open to use the left fingertips as balance support beneath the shoulder, or hands can stay pressing together heart center for extra balance challenge. Let's take one more breath in our half moon. Start to bend into the left knee as you exhale. Right foot lands at the top of the mat. Star pose. Reach the arms up. Press the hips forward to get a little opening there. Now hands to heart center. Rotate all 10 toes so they're pointing the same direction. Knife edges of the feet parallel with the short edges of your mat. Reach the arms wide open. Take a breath in. Clasp the hands together at the low back on the breath out. On the inhale, squeeze the elbows together. Knuckles press down toward the floor. Lift the chin and chest to the sky. And then slowly exhale into your wide leg fold with the bind. So of course the bind's always optional. You can release it if it's not suiting you, doesn't feel good today. If you're keeping the bind, little micro bend activity in the elbows. Crown of the head is gravitating toward the floor. See if you can shift some of your body weight into the ball mounds of your feet so the heels almost feel like they're going to lift up, but they don't, or will roll over. And if you roll over, that's okay because no one can see because it's the computer. Take one more breath here with the bind. Bring the hands back to your low spine before releasing fingertips beneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift up halfway, nice long back. Add a little bend into the knees. Bring your hands to your hips on your exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up to stand star pose. Open up into warrior two, facing the front of your mat. Big bend into your right knee this time. So right knee is tracking in line with your second toe. Knife edge of the left foot is rooted. You feel pressure in the ball mound of the right foot, pressure in the knife edge of the left. Reach your arms in either direction. Again, relax the shoulders away from the ears. So this is a really big, powerful, badass pose, honestly. Stay low in your right lunge. Flip your right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach up and back, side stretch. Exhale is extended side angle, your variation. Again, maybe start elbow on the knee. See how it feels. Can drop right fingertips to the floor. You can hover your right arm to work your core if you're feeling crazy today. Wherever you are, try to look up to the sky for the inhale. Take the pose deeper, reaching the crown of the head another inch forward as you exhale. Press into the feet, inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. And then cartwheel the hands to the inside of the right foot. Find lizard lunge. Let your left heel lift up over the toes. You can walk your right foot out toward the right edge of your mat to create a little more space for your shoulder and to open up your hip. Little movement if you'd like, rocking back and forth or taking circles here. and then find stillness. Come up onto your fingertips, get really light and bouncy on the left foot. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop yogi squat at the top of the mat. So we're gonna take a few extra moments in this squat. So if it's uncomfortable and you have a tool or a block as a tool, you can set that underneath the hips for support. If you don't have a block, you keep your hips lifted and some weight into the palms. So if you're in a nice deep yogi squat and you want to add some side stretches, take your left hand, clasp on the top of your right shin or ankle, so that your arms crossing in front of the body. Reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Let the gaze follow if you can. You might feel your left shoulder kind of drop to the inside of the left knee. Take a breath here. Try to keep the weight even in the heels. And then exhale, come through center to reset and switch it out. If you're taking the twist, this time right hand clasp the top of the left shin or ankle, and left fingertips reach up to the sky. Even weight in the feet. Take another breath in. And exhale back to center. Plant the palms or fingertips down on the ground, and then just let yourself roll onto your seat. Bend the knees into your chest. Pull the heels in close to your bum. Reach the crown of the head nice and tall, just like you're a marionette, like being pulled right up to the ceiling. Fingertips reach forward. Take a breath in. Super slow, lower all the way down to your back. We're going to take one round of bridge and then one round of optional wheel. So for bridge pose, let the hands stay resting along the side body. On the breath in, press into the shoulders, the back of the neck, the heels. Lift the hip bones up to the sky. And we'll hold here. So imagine you're squeezing a book or a block or a pillow between the inner thighs, and this is going to help you stay active in the low body, which will support the spinal muscles as you're stretching them. Again, we're always looking for the balance between the support, the strength, and the strength and flexibility, or stretch and flexibility, excuse me. Take one more breath here. Try to lift a little higher by pressing into the feet. Drop your hips down to the floor on the breath out. So we'll take one more round. Option to take bridge pose again, or move into full wheel. Full wheel, palms plant alongside the ears, fingertips pointing toward your heels. So your palms can be hugging in close to the ears or wider toward the edges of your mat. You just kind of have to experiment with your shoulder range of motion. If you're taking wheel, come onto the crown of the head first. So both variations on the inhale, press into the heels, lift the hips, wheel, try coming onto the crown of your head. Shoulders feel good. That's a sign to extend the elbows. Coming onto just 4 points of contact, hands and feet. So your back bend, full breath in. It might be hard to take a full inhale because you're stretching the front body so much. Stay for the exhale. One more deep breath in, as deep as you can. Tuck your chin to your chest. Carefully lower all the way down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Couple rocks side to side. We'll counter stretch with happy baby right here. So pull the knees toward the armpits, opening the thighs around the belly and the chest. Flex your feet and reach for the outside or inside edges of the feet. That might be far away. You have ankles, calves, back of your thighs. Whatever bind allows you to use the arms to pull the hips open while keeping the sacrum, the low spine, down on the mat. Or that pokey bone right above your butt. Try to keep it rooted. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Settle into the stretch. Carefully release the feet. Pull the knees into your chest. This time start to rock forward and backward. Little momentum. Come through your seat, press into the palms, and we'll just meet right in our downward facing dog. All right, one more little bit of effort here in our flow. So pressing evenly in the hands. Let's inhale, ripple forward to your high plank. Now we're gonna open up into side plank. So your left palm is your base. Start to roll onto the knife edge of the left foot, hips and chest open up toward the right side as the right fingertips peel up toward the ceiling. So we're looking to be as strong and tall through the left side body as we can. Option to drop your left knee to the floor for that same plank variation we took in our warm-up. So hold here, tight core. Start to lift your right foot up off the floor. Bend the right knee, start to pull your knee toward your right elbow. It's not gonna connect, don't stress. With as much control as you can, you're gonna drop your right foot to the top of the mat inside the left thumb, and we'll meet in a low lunge. So if it takes 1 or 2 extra steps to meet us in the lunge, ain't no thing. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Heel toe your right foot outside edge of the mat. Right hand comes to the inside, so we're in our more relaxed lizard lunge here. You can keep your left knee lifted for an active lizard, or we've set ourselves up pretty well to add a bind in here. So left palm is your base down on the mat. Inhale, reach your right fingertips to the sky. Hold here. Before you find the bind, use your left hamstring to pull your left heel toward the glute, and then reach back with your right hand this time, grabbing onto the top of your left foot, or you can clasp the outside edge of that foot. If the bind isn't there, as always, try not to sweat it too much. If you have a tool, keep calling the block a tool. If you have it is a tool, but if you have a block, you can put it underneath the left hand. This lifts the chest and increases the availability to grab onto the left heel behind you. Your variation, hold for 1 more breath in. On your exhale, let's unwind. Drop right hand back to the floor on the inside of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under, lift up the left knee. Take a breath in, tight belly. On your exhale, just step right back into your down dog. And then no hesitating, inhale, ripple forward into your high plank. This time, right palm is the base. For our side plank, start to roll onto the knife edge of your right foot. Keep your feet flexed. That'll make tight, strong, active legs. Left fingertips reach up to the sky. Find the strength in the right side body. Try to lift the hips up another inch. Hold here. Option for right knee to be down on the floor. Start to lift the left ankle up to the sky. Bend the left leg. Pull your left knee toward the elbow. You'll squeeze it into your chest as you drop left foot top of the mat. Find your low lunge. Right heel lifts up over the toes. Drop the right knee to the floor. Heel toe. Left foot outside edge of the mat. And the hips can drop down and forward, really opening up. Finding a more passive stretch if your right knee is down. A little more active if you lift it up. So if your right knee is down and you'd like to add the twist like we did on the other side, right palm is rooted beneath your shoulder. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Find the twist in the upper half first. Pull your right heel toward the glute, just using the leg muscles, and then reach back. Find the bind if it's there. Use the block if you'd like. If you have your bind, try to look up over the left shoulder to twist the neck, finding a full spinal twist. This is a really multi-dimensional stretch. You can feel it in almost every inch of the body. It's pretty awesome. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. Gently release on the exhale. Right toes tuck under, lift up the right knee. Take 1 breath in. Exhale, step back into your downward facing dog. Take a full inhale right here. And a full exhale. On the breath in, kick your right heel to the sky. Exhale is half pigeon. Take it nice and slow. pulling your right knee behind the right wrist, and then pulling your right ankle toward your left wrist. Doesn't need to come close. Your right ankle can stay beneath the seat. Play around with the angle of your right leg. You want to keep the hips as even and level as you can, not spiraling open, so you're just sitting on the right bum. So stay lifted here. Press into the fingertips. Take a big breath in, lift the chest, pull the heart up and forward. Gaze back over the right shoulder. Gaze over the left shoulder. And then start to walk forward, coming down onto the forearms if you'd like, or letting the chest fully drop down to the mat, maybe making a pillow with one palm on top of the other, letting the forehead rest there so your face isn't being smushed into the floor. Just take about 3 full breaths here. See if you can try to channel your breath, sending it into your right hip, the right knee where it feels really tight, using that thought to create expansion there and rest. At the bottom of your last exhale, start to press back into the palms to lift up the chest. Tuck your left toes under. We're just gonna press right back into downward facing dog. We'll take it on the left side. So as you're ready, pulling your left heel to the sky as you feel the lungs. And then slow exhale, slow transition into your left side, half pigeon. If it feels a little tighter, a little looser, just work with it, accept it. Use moments of limitation as motivation to see if we can use yoga to take it deeper. Press into the fingertips, keep the chest lifted to start on your inhale. Pull the heart up and forward. Gaze back over the left shoulder. Make sure the right leg is long and relaxed, toes are untucked. Switch the gaze over the right shoulder and then melt forward. Again, palms, forearms, or full pigeon, letting the chest rest on top of your left shin. Trying to take slower, longer, deeper breaths in these last few moments of our class. Again, sending the breath to those deep creases in the left hip and left knee. Comparing that to the nice, long, open leg on the right side. At the bottom of your next exhale, start to come up and out of the pose. This time, we're just gonna move lazily into a seat. So rock all the weight onto your left butt cheek and swing your right leg around. Perfect timing. Just find an easy seat. We're gonna seal the class just with one breath. On the inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, just like you're gonna grab the moon or the sun, depending on where you are. And exhale, hands through heart center. Thank you so much for popping on and joining me today. We're finished. You made it to the end. Let me know how it felt. Thanks. Great to see you all. Liz, how did Jonathan like it?